Hello YouTube, my name is Thomas. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the Bel Canto 1000S monoblocks. Now these are 500 watts at 8 ohm and 1000 watts at 4 ohms monoblocks. Now that's quite impressive given the size. Take a look, they're so small and they don't run hot. They run warm and they can drive pretty much any speakers you throw at them. Well, they'll take XLR, they'll take RCA. Definitely very powerful. And usually when you look at a monoblock that's about 1000 watts at 4 ohms or 500 watts at 8 ohms, you expect that it's going to give you a lot of bass, right? That's probably its strength. But it's interesting, that's not its strength. Where it excels is actually at the mid-range and at the high-end sharp treble part. The bass is there, but it's not as in your face like, let's say, my Bryston 4B SST. It is still punchy, it has a lot of control. You will feel the bass, absolutely. So to say that it's a warm amp is not really correct, right? Usually when you have an amp that has a lot of low end, that's what I call warm. In this case, it's not like that. It feels more neutral. It feels very clean. In fact, my friend, when he borrowed these monoblocks, he said that it's dead silent. It's so quiet that it's a good idea to pair it up with a tube preamp. I myself pair it up with a solid state preamp, Marantz, and absolutely it's ultra quiet, dead silent, and you need amps. No, you need speakers that are not bright to go with it. For example, if you pair it with a focal, if you pair it with a paradigm, anything that's very bright, you need a good preamp to go with it and a good DAC, something that's very smooth. Else these can be very sharp. And case in point, when I had the GX300, when I paired them with the GX300, the clarity was so incredible that you can actually, like, I remember I was playing the song that has water in it. I can really hear, like, it feels very real. That's what's incredible about these monoblocks, is that they feel real. Things sound more real. Clarity, it's a speciality. And it's not fatiguing. It's not sharp. Except if you start pairing with speakers like a GX300. Now, having said that, one of my friends actually loves it when I pair with the GX300. It uses a ribbon tweeter. It's a very bright speaker. But for me, like, these don't pair well with that kind of speaker. You can pair it with focal, it's fine as long as your preamp and your DAC and your cables are not bright. You can pair it very well with the KEF. I have a pair of Earthquake Titan that demands 600 watts to drive, and these can handle it no problem whatsoever. So if you're in the market for a high power amp, definitely take a look at these, right? The thing is that once you go high power amp, it's hard to go backwards. The reason is because whenever you pair of high power amps, you can feel that the speaker is working effortlessly. It's not like it's trying to yell when you push up the volume. It's just singing, and there's a certain smoothness to it. So in fact, when I drove the Pioneer S3EX, now those are pretty high-end speakers with these, and we're doing an A/B test with the passlab, right? X350.5. Now that one's about 120 watts, and this one, it's, as I said, 500 watts, right? So my friend brought it over, we did an A/B test, and he was blown away. He said he doesn't, because the Pioneers were 86 dB, it made a difference when you have power. It feels more smooth, definitely. Now, I say these speakers pair well with the newer speakers. With the old speakers like my old dying audios, it's okay. It's okay. But I prefer the Accuphase with it. These are good for the new speakers. I personally like to pair it with newer preamps. They pair well with tube amps. I had the Malrite LS100 going, pairing with it. Sounded fantastic. But as I said, they're not warm amps, warm sounding amps, meaning that you get the low end, but that's not where its strength is. It's very controlled on the bottom end, and it's not. But when I do an A/B test with the 4B SST, you can feel that there's more bass coming out from the 4B SST. But I don't know, is it really bass that's coming out, or is it muddy bass? Let's put it this way, because it's so clean that sometimes you might mistake it for, okay, the bass is not as strong as the 4B SST. But trust me, when you push the volume on speakers that can deliver bass, yeah, you'll feel it. So like these monitor audio, these are the RS6, right? Now, if you go online, you're going to see people saying, oh, these have no bass. And then you have another group of people saying they have a lot of bass. I'll tell you this. If I pair it with my Accuphase, that's 125 watts here, there's no bass. Pair it with the Bel Canto, one of the most, like, for the size, is amazing, the bass. So these RS6 speakers are amazing if you have a high power amp, right? So this is an example of where a high power amp makes a big difference. For me, if a speaker is less than 94 dB, a high power amp can definitely benefit from it. So the Bel Canto is definitely highly recommended. In fact, I bought it because I had the Pioneer S3EX, right? Now, people compare that Pioneer to $20,000 speakers. It was designed by Andrew Jones. And when they demo it at the trade shows, the audio shows, they actually used the Bel Canto. So that tells me that, you know, these work really well with the Pioneer. In fact, when I met Andrew Jones, I asked him about that, right? And I remember he just made a comment, yeah, these are very powerful monoblocks. And I can see why it paired very well with the Pioneer S3EX, because it has power. If you ever know somebody who has that and think that the Pioneer S3EX are so speakers, most of the time it's because I noticed that people drive those speakers with integrated amps, right? That's the wrong way to do it. You need something like this. You need power, and you need good, clean power. Even though they're Class D, you won't be able to tell. Like, I have friends over, and you know, they will listen, and I say, you can't tell this is Class D, right? Nope, not at all. You can mistake it for a Class AB easily. In fact, one of my friends has these Jeff Rollins. They're about $50,000 to $70,000 amp. Those are Class D too. So the technology has improved so much that, you know, you definitely should give this a look. They're, as I said, they make instruments sound more real. Some people...
so much more than just words could ever say.
I'm not sure you can pick up from my cell phone recording here, but there's definitely a lot of low end. It's very clear. I'm running it through these RX6, and hopefully you can get a taste of how much bass can these speakers drive, because of the fact that I have a high power amp, right? So with this, I'll wrap up my impressions on them. There's the MK1, MK2 version. There's a big price gap there, so definitely if you can get either one of them, give them a try. If you have speakers that are very difficult to drive, and or if you never try high power amps and always wonder what the big fuzz is about, these are definitely worth a try. Now, a lot of people just brush it off simply because it's Class D. Now, I'm telling you, I've tried, a few very high quality Class A, B, Class A amps, and these mono blocks can definitely compete. So with that, I'll wrap up my review and subscribe.